Good afternoon. Welcome to our Midday Mull for Saturday the 30th of May. I'm reading from the book of Revelation. The McShane reading program takes us into Revelation and read chapter 1 today. And I struck by verse 9. John writes, I, John, your brother and companion in the suffering and kingdom and patient endurance that are ours in Jesus, was on the island of Patmos because of the word of God and the testimony of Jesus. And I thought the idea of the suffering and patient endurance under the COVID lockdown, that certainly I think many of us can relate to that. We're all looking forward to reaching stage 3 lockdown in 2 days' time, where our wine shelves can be replenished and we can go back to church. And yet at the same time, the churches generally have said we're not ready to open. The threat is just too big. It's not that COVID is gone, it's still there. It is still very real. And we don't think it's a wise move, and we're not going to do it. St.Luke has said we're not going to open. The Anglican diocese in Joburg has said we're not ready to open, and probably not for another 2 months. Many other churches have said the same thing, and so we find ourselves sitting with the same uneasiness that things haven't got better, that we're still where we were, that we're still in a place that we don't want to be. And that was exactly what John's experience was as well. He says that our eyes in Jesus. I was on the island of Patmos because of the word of God and the testimony of Jesus. John was on the island of Patmos as an exile because of his preaching. The word of God had ended up with him being exiled to Patmos. He didn't choose to be there. He didn't want to be there. He was there against his will, but that's where he was. And that's where God met him. And he then has this vision of Jesus and the glories of heaven and the wonders of what the world's going to be like and how it's all going to unfold. And we won't get into that in too much detail because that's a minefield. But God met him where he was, despite the fact that he didn't want to be there. And God is the same today. We are in a place that we don't choose to be in. It's an inconvenience that limits us. It's a challenge to everything that we're used to. I think everybody would rather not be here. But it was where John was that God came to him. And where we are, God comes to us. God knows exactly what we're going through and what our experience is. And he doesn't have to look for us. He doesn't think, oh my goodness, these people, why aren't they in church? He knows exactly what's going on. And I pray that, like John, we will be able to cope with the suffering and kingdom and patient endurance. 3 ideas which don't fit together well in the 21st century. But despite that, we will know that God is there and that God speaks into it and that God meets us and God ministers to us and that we will be blessed where we are and that we will be in a position to share that blessing with other people and encourage people to say, yes, God is with you and God can help you and God will make a difference. So I pray that you would know wherever you are, whatever you're going through, God is with you and that you would be blessed.